guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about staging today and why it is so important and why Troy and I provide this service for every single listing of ours, whether it be an occupied consultation or a full stage where we're providing the furniture. Gave a little tour of a 1-bedroom listing that Troy and I have that I did a full stage on. And why is that so important? Well, it's because buyers typically know within 5 to 8 seconds of walking into a home if they're interested or not. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. Have you ever walked into a home and the odor was so offensive that you're just like, oh, okay, I can't stay in here, I have to leave? Well, that is number one. We always recommend watch the air fresheners, overpowering scents, synthetic smells, because your nose hits you before even your eyes kick in. And if a buyer can't stand the smell of a home, they're not going to hang out in there. Some of the other things that are critical in preparing a home for a sale is depersonalizing. Buyers do not want to go in and see family photos of you and how you've lived in that home, and they're trying to make their own connection with the house. And it's important to minimize the clutter so that they're not so overwhelmed by your things and the way that you live in the house that they just can't make their own connection to the house. So that is why it is crucial. I started my staging company in 2008 as this will give me something to do when our kids are at school, to full on staging for fix and flippers, doing occupied consultations. And it has been a service that it's just crucial. It's a crucial part of preparing any home for sale. For example, this 1-bedroom home that you just saw, it's tiny. It's under 1,000 square feet. So could you imagine walking in here without a full-size couch, without a chair, without a queen-size bed in the bedroom, and without a full-size dining room? It might otherwise be really hard for prospective buyers to potentially make that connection to see themselves living in here. So we do faux TVs so that that creates that entertainment space, highlight areas of the home that might otherwise not be made a connection with. But also, buyers can be very nitpicky. And if there are things, if the house is vacant, it's cold and uninviting. And it may speak desperation also, where a prospective buyer comes in, they're always looking for the psychological reason why a seller is selling. And they're in a buyer's mind, they may think, oh, that house is vacant. They've already moved out and they're probably making a payment on their new house. They're making payments on this house. So we might be able to offer them less and get that accepted. That is not the goal. We want it to be presented well, because if there's no furniture for buyers to focus on, how are they going to, when they've seen 8 houses in a day, how is the buyer going to set that vacant home apart? It might be, oh, remember that house and it had that weird paint color and that ugly ceiling fan and that terrible thermostat. I know that's stretching it a little, but that might be the connection they make with that vacant home. Whereas if it's staged, the buyer can be like, oh, right, remember that house? It had this, 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 and this. And it's sticking to the top of their brain for, out of the houses they've seen that day. So not only is it important to redirect from flaws in the house, it's important to help buyers make that connection. Now, occupied stages are a little bit different. Obviously, you have to live in your home while your home is on the market. And it's hard. I mean, we tell our sellers, just plan on pretending like you're camping in your own house. You're not leaving dirty dishes in the sink. Your toilet lids need to be down. Your personal care stuff needs to be put away. We need to give this a neutral feeling so that when buyers come in, they're making that connection with themselves. And that's just a quick little glimpse as to the process of staging, but it's such a minor thing, and although it does take time to kind of go through that list that we talk about and we recommend, it is crucial. One of the objections that I often hear, especially in a hot market like this, is why do we need to stage? Why invest the money? It just doesn't seem like a necessary expense. And to me, it's like, well, it's an insurance policy for one thing. Even in a really hot market, if a home is not priced right and it's not presented well, it will be rejected by the market. And you don't want to be coming behind the curveball, because typically buyers that are coming through in the first few days of a new listing are people that have already seen all the other inventory on the market and they're looking for the new things. So you have to go right out of the shooting gate, because I can't tell you how many times I've heard from a fix and flip guy, oh, I'm going to test it out for a couple weeks, and then if I don't sell it, then I'll go ahead and stage it. Wrong. It's so important just to get it right out there, because people that are coming through, then they're the ones who have seen everything else on the market, and they're the ones that you need to impress. Once you're on the market for a couple weeks, at that point you're stale and you're coming from behind the 8 ball. So just take it as an insurance policy. More times than not, buyers' return on the investment of staging far exceeds what they paid for staging versus what they're going to end up with in the long run. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Hopefully you enjoyed the little tour, and reach out to us. We're happy to walk through room by room and give you our suggestions and help guide you along the way. Thanks so much.